Good morning. It's just gone 9 o'clock. It's Saturday morning, and of course, this is Sunrise. I am Alero Edu, and welcome back, Kade.
Yes, good to be back. My name's Kade Akintomi. It's great to be back here.
Did you bring us back any snow from Davos?
You may not be seeing it anytime soon.
Because we need some snow out here.
Has it been really hot?
It's been very hot, and to make it worse, you actually feel it because there is no power anywhere.
Oh gosh, the power issue we will come to in just a moment.
I keep saying I won't talk about NEPA, but somehow power seems to just find its way into your conversation.
It's just I can't find any further words to use to describe how terrible it is, because I came in this morning and the whole house was in a mess because there's been no light for a whole week.
Well,
for a whole week, I'm told. There is none whatsoever. And I'm thinking, how can we live like this? While in Davos, fortunately, I met the Minister for Power, Professor Nebo.
Did he tell you anything about our situation?
All he told me was that it will take time for these things to bed in. It will take a bit of time. So I was asking, but Prof, can we have a clear understanding of what the guys who have bought the unbundled PHCN, what are they doing?
We need to bring some of them here to come and tell us what they're doing.
We need to have a clear understanding of what they're doing and how long it will take, so that expectation is not continuously rising, that it's unbundled, is no longer NEPA, is now so many companies.
It's raised by the things that the ministry tells us.
Yes.
They raise your hopes, and you're thinking, wow, in a few months, let's say in 3, 4, 5 months, we'll be getting about 10, 12, 18 hours of power. And then the thing goes from 8 hours to 1 hour in 5 days.
And I don't even know. I can't understand why we will have that kind of situation where we will say that we've unbundled and it gets worse. It's a case of it has to get worse to get better.
Before it gets better.
So
is that the situation?
Maybe that it is, but somebody has got to explain to us why it has to be that way, because it's not looking good at the moment.
How can you be productive when you wake up in the morning tired because you have sweated all night? How can you be productive?
I don't know how people manage. Because, before I traveled, you and I were having conversation about this, and I said that I live on diesel now. I eat and drink diesel. Because if you're spending so many thousands of naira every day, and you don't even stay at home from morning until late at night, and yet you need diesel all night.
As much as you do.
No, I really do sympathize with those who have their kids at home and family and everything, and you have that kind of situation where you have to put it on the moment the kids are back from school. It's just, it's not good. It's not good. Well, but we are hoping that it will get better. The expectation is Professor Nebo and his team and those who have bought the unbundled PHCN will do something, and they will do it quickly.
Well, we're hoping so, because they are business people, and business is all about, I've got to make my money back. I've got to make money.
Absolutely.
And if we don't get power, there's no way they are going to make money.
Yes. I guess next week we should expect to see some of them here in the studio.
Telling us.
Live here, explaining to us what they're going through, what are the issues, what's the timeline.
We need the timeline.
Absolutely. So that we know, if they tell us that, look, there will be no light for the next 6 months, then we will resign our fate to it and say, okay, fine. 6 months, but in 6 months' time, this is what we will expect to see.
And we're going to, after 6 months, we're going to be asking questions. If we don't see what they say we're going to see.
Yes, we will. We will. We can't wait. We can't wait. What else has happened during the course of the week?
Season of defections, of course. There's still defections. And there was a rumor about an attempt to impeach the president. Or was that, maybe it was in my nightmare. Maybe it was my nightmare.
Well,
but defections, and more defections.
I was reading about that all throughout the time that I was away in Davos and then in London. And throughout the last couple of weeks, it seems as if it's not one-way traffic. Which is quite interesting.
Quite fluid. It's flowing this way and it's flowing this way and it's flowing that way.
It's both
very
ways.
fluid, yes.
At the point that I was hearing, oh, there is CPC going, I thought CPC doesn't exist anymore. They said, well, it's still happening and they're moving to PDP now. Oh, no, well, PDP is moving to APC. Oh, some people said they made a mistake. They're no longer in APC. They're moving back
to PDP.
To PDP. So you then wonder.
Very interesting.
It's mind-boggling.
Very
It
interesting.
is you could say it's interesting, but it is mind-boggling. It's only in Nigeria that I hear of things like that. I don't hear it anywhere else.
Yeah, but we've talked about this before, Coyote, and we have said that as long as there's no clear-cut ideology between one and the other, these kinds of things will happen.
True.
I mean, how often have you heard a conservative, for instance, becoming
a Labour member? It just doesn't happen.
Because I mean, the thoughts are quite. It's like chalk and cheese.
Yes, there's no way you will contemplate that, because if you're jumping ship, they'll be asking you, how many years have you been a member of this one? And you actually do want to move from... No, it's just not the dumb thing. But in Nigeria, and actually that brings me to the issue of, I think it was Wednesday, today's Saturday, it must have been Thursday then, that Professor Jega was at the Chatham House in London, and I was there, and a number of Nigerians in diaspora were there, and they were asking him, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Loads of questions that were asked, but he gave very robust answer to most of them. But the one thing that stands out that we still don't have an answer to, and I hope that he's watching because I understand he will be back in Nigeria today. I hope he's watching. The one thing we're not sure about is, why do we have such a short timeline for people to campaign? Because they don't have enough time to campaign, which is about 3 months or so, because they don't have that amount of time, then it means that they really don't have to tell you anything beyond just come out and vote for change. Vote for me, vote for change. Even the person is in office is campaigning for change. So you then wonder, what change is he going to bring to Nigeria? So people don't get to know what the political parties stand for.
The downside of what you have just said is what is headline in one of today's newspapers. I haven't seen all the other headline, but the paper that I saw this morning had the headline about an increase in the number of illegal arms and ammunition being imported into the country. I mean, that has me very, very scared. Who are those importing them, and what are they going to do with them, and where are they coming in through?
Yes, that is very, very worrying. Extremely disturbing when you have a situation where there are ammunitions, arsenal of all kind of guns and all kind of
simply
things.
Just walking around.
It's quite
so
disturbing. It's quite disturbing,
yes.
And I'm hoping that this will not degenerate into all kind of fights and people killing one another. Quite a few Nigerians that I met at Chatham House, the question they're asking is, channels, are you guys going to cover the election? Yes, we will cover the election. We hope there will be no killing. I said, I am praying. In fact, I'll probably start fasting. Some churches are fasting already.
100 days.
That we will not, 100 days, yes. Some 21 days just completed. And we need to pray in Nigeria that we will not allow it degenerate into anarchy. We just hope it will not. It is politics, and it should not be a case of life and death. It shouldn't be.
Somebody must win and somebody must lose. If you have lost, please go home in peace and try again the next time.
Absolutely.
It's not the end of the world.
It is not.
But our problem is that most of our politicians don't have any jobs.
They don't.
What do you do for a living? I'm a politician. And as surely as they don't have any job that they're doing, when they lose the elections, what do they go back to?
Nothing to fall back on. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And, it was like we had this conversation in London just during the course of this week where some people were saying, oh, I want to go back to Nigeria. Just go back to Nigeria. And said, what do you want to do in Nigeria? You have to take something to Nigeria that would turn into something that,
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said, just get contract. And I said, contract is that's not a job.
Well, if it was that easy, why aren't we who are here doing contracts?
I think some people are still living in what age, I don't know what age it is, but they're still living far behind, and they're still thinking that governments exist to give contracts that will never be delivered, and for that reason, you can come and do contracts and do buy and sell. There should be a lot more. We're more ingenious than that in Nigeria. We're more entrepreneurial in Nigeria. And we should do more than just come in and look for contracts, So,
Professor Jaga gave an interview in the course of the week where he said that he had never been offered bribe. And I heard some people discussing it, and somebody just chuckled and said, Professor, you're too far removed from the action, so they're not likely to offer you any bribe. I found that very funny.
It will be. But he sounded like he knows what he's doing. One of the very interesting statements which made the rounds during the course of the week on Twitter was when he said that he cannot, and INEC will not guarantee that when we look through the register in 2015, there will be no names of dead people. They said that will still happen. There's no way they can avoid it because the development of databases in Nigeria is just not
up to scratch yet.
But that the one thing he will guarantee and put his name against is the fact that those dead people will not be voting. I said, okay, Prof.
Thank you, Professor.
That's good.
Thank you, Professor. And at least he has promised us that INEC is going to do its best in 2015 because Nigeria is actually hoping for a free and fair election.
Yes.
They want their choice to matter. They want their vote to matter.
Absolutely.
And it is about the people, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed.
I listened to an interview on Jimmy Disu's discourse, and somebody was saying 2 million people cannot hold to ransom 160 million people. We, the people of Nigeria, must wrest this country from them. It is our country.
Yeah,
it's theirs as well.
But yes.
Maybe 500,000.
Yes, the politicians are not that many, but that minority seemed to be a case of the tail wagging the dog.
The dog.
That is sad. And we, the people of Nigeria, we have to make sure that this time around we will go out, we will vote, and we will make our vote to count.
Yes.
And that's what we have to do.
And talking about we, the people of Nigeria, you did say that we, the people of Nigeria, would like to know what happened to the $10.9 billion? Yes. The missing 10.9?
Well,
do we know yet?
That one, you and I will have to talk about because
we, the people of Nigeria, were demanding to know.
I got some flack on that. I'll discuss it with you later. I got some questions being asked about it, but I believe that they have made it clear in their own way. The government, the federal government, has made it clear that that money was not missing. Okay. So if they say it's not missing, I think what we should be asking is let's see the impact of it, where it was spent.
Where it was spent. Okay. So what is Sunrise going to be looking at this morning? We're going to begin with towards 2015. We're going to focus on INEC.
And immediately after that, there is crisis within the APC in Ondo State. We'll take a look at it and we'll have the key players in the studio live with us. And
then there is a special conference coming up, and it's the Kingdom Foundation Conference. We'll be talking about that.
Water everywhere, plenty water in Lagos State. So they say. So well, that's what we're hoping. The Lagos State Water Regulatory Body will be telling us that there is enough for everyone, hopefully.
Oh, okay. And we shall close, of course, with the Artist of the Week segment, as is usual on Sunrise. So we'll just take a short break, come back, and dig into the topics for today. See you in just a moment.